So today just went from no calls at all to all of a sudden both big trucks need to go to work on separate jobs at the same time. And the kind of ironic thing here is one is a piece of equipment that needs to be hauled and the other is a vehicle that needs to be towed. So you would think the rollback, oh by the way, Matt's coming over to drive the rollback and I'm going to drive the Western Star. But you would think the rollback would go to get the equipment that needs to be hauled and the Zacklift would be used to get the vehicle that needs to be towed. But we're going to do it the opposite here because the vehicle is an ambulance that the wheels fell off of and slid off the road and all that, so it can't be towed down the road because, you know, the wheels fell off. So the rollback is going to go get the ambulance, and the other one is like an off-road, like rough terrain construction forklift that got in an accident on the road, rolled over. I think it stood back up now, but it doesn't have to go that far down the road, so I'm going to try to tow that down the road with the Zacklift so that the ambulance can be hauled on that truck. That's the plan. We've got some stuff to do. We gotta get that truck unloaded. I'm gonna put the wheel grids on here and use the wheel grids to tow this thing. And we are going to get to work. Okay, so I got the wheel grids on the Zacklift and here is the plan. So this forklift is an off-road like construction forklift that got in a wreck on the road and now needs to tow back to the shop. It's only about a mile. And another towing company came out, responded to the accident and stood it back up, but they couldn't tow it away because, you know, it's an off-road construction forklift. And they have a sliding axle low bed trailer with a winch on it that could winch it up on there, but that trailer is busy at the moment, so it can't go get this forklift. And, you know, they said, you know, they can't tow it either, but I have these fancy wheel grids. So my thought is by using my wheel grids, I can just wheel grid the forklift, pull the drive shaft out of it, use the boom if I have to pick the fork carriage up and chain it up, and then tow it down the road. Yeah, we're not going to fork the axle like you normally would towing something, but I have wheel grids, so we're going to give it a shot. And then worst case scenario, if I can't get it with this, either we will wait for it'd be 2 or 3 hours for the rollback to be done with the job it's on and coming back through that same area. So we can just wait it out and at least get it off the road or clear or something with this, and the rollback can get it on the way back through, or I can come back and switch to the low bed and then the rollback can meet me there and winch it on the deck. I guess that wouldn't make any sense. The rollback already has to be there anyway, I can just tow it. So yeah, we're just gonna take this. Hopefully we can get it with this. If not, we'll figure out a new plan from there. So we found our forklift, but Tim got here first. Tim got it running and stole all my work. Now they're just gonna drive it home. So Tim got it running. They ran down to the parts store to get some oil to top it back off on hydraulic oil and just drive it back. Thanks a lot, Tim. Tim, by the way, you guys remember the one who did that whole custom hydraulic system on that truck, which is still working just fine.
Awesome. Awesome. So I bent that front
See, this is the problem with Tim, is he steals all my work by just fixing everything instead of needing the codes. Now it just needs a bath and you're good to go. All right, so the plan now is I'm gonna go down the road, flip around, and I'm gonna follow them all the way back to the yard, because if I follow them back to the yard, it'll make it just fine. It won't need a tow truck. But if I leave now, it will break down just around the corner and I'll have to come back. That's how my luck goes, that's how everybody's luck goes, so that's what we're gonna do. Hi Tim, thanks for stealing my work. That thing cruising along no problem. It's only like a mile, not even from here back to their yard, so should be just fine. And just like that, we're back home. The forklift made it back to the yard, no problem at all. And then I turned from there and headed back towards home. Luckily, nobody injured in the accident. It was the forklift was the only one involved. He actually started moving over to let some traffic by, and the steering axle hooked the curb and spun it and spun the forklift around and tipped it over. But nobody hurt, no damage to the forklift, no other vehicles involved. The only damage there was a couple of the fence boards got cracked, but hey, they're a construction company, so that should be no big deal. Very fortunate all the way around, except for Tim coming to ruin all my fun. So rollback's gone. Matt is on his way down to get the ambulance. I passed him as I was headed back out here. He's probably got a 3 to 3.5 hour drive down to where that thing is. Load it up and tow it all the way back. So he's got a long day. I got a really short one thanks to Tim. So I think I'm gonna wash this truck, which is sorely needed, give it a good bath, and then maybe do some maintenance, because that's always fun. So if you're upset that you didn't get a good recovery or tow video, you can blame Tim with High Mountain Diesel. It's 100% his fault.